Just about midnight on Sunday. I just got called in from home. So let me rewind a little bit. This is actually my 7th day straight. We are currently doing 7 on, 7 off, like I said in my prior videos. So we work 7 days on and have 7 days off afterwards. The only problem with that is you split the whole week of call between 2 fellows. So me and my co-fellow, Clayton. So every other day we are on call. So essentially, one day I'm not on call, then I'm on call for 24 hours and keep going. So I was on call Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, Sunday up until Monday morning at 7 a.m. So every day, since it's been essentially the same amount of work almost, but half of the staff, you have to kind of pick up the slack, which means I've worked pretty much 15-hour days plus every single day so far, and today is my 7th day. I left today about 5 p.m. I thought I was doing great. Thought I would get a good night's sleep, hang out with Andriana tonight. But then I got a call at 8 p.m. and found out there was a patient bleeding at an outside hospital that was being transferred here. And the hospital is probably 2 hours away from here. Transport takes forever. And they didn't actually get here until midnight. Which is fine because, you know, it's about a 2-hour case. I get out of here at 2 a.m. and I don't have to go to work tomorrow, so it's not that big of a deal. I'm just a little tired and was hoping that I could enjoy my 7th day in a row and just relax, but such is life. So you guys wanted to see the terrible parts of residency. So this is pretty bad. Can't get much worse than being called in at midnight when you're almost done with your 7-day straight stint. So one thing I failed to mention that while I was driving here, I got called by the ICU and they told me, great news, that there is also another patient bleeding at a different outside hospital being transferred here emergently that we will likely have to investigate as well. So now I have 2 cases back to back. They probably won't start till about 1 a.m. or so, and hopefully I can get out of here before the sun comes up. So I'm sure you can see how tired I am currently. It's been a long week. My hair is getting longer by the day here. But anyways, I'm gonna go get changed. Watch me as I slowly get tired throughout the night. And what can you do? We signed up for it. All right, so it's about 15 minutes later. I got changed, as you can see. And what you all probably don't know, because a lot of you all see the emergency stuff in TV shows, but there's this huge waiting period. The whole game is hurry up and wait. These patients get transferred here. The ICU teams have to assess them in the unit. They have to either put a central line in, intubate them, or whatnot, change their pressure requirements, all that stuff, tune them up. Then they can transport them down here. So essentially I get here, I do all the waiting, do the note, look over the imaging, plan our way we're going to go about this procedure. And then once the patient gets down to our suite, then I will call the attendant in and wake him up to come in, because they usually live pretty close by. So right now I'm just going over this. I'll look over the next patient and wait for this one to come down, and we'll get started. All right, so it's now 12:45 a.m. and I'm still waiting for the patient to kind of get down here. I spoke to the ICU. They want to intubate the patient up there before they bring him down so that they're nice and stable for us. That way anesthesia can just take the reins when they're down here. So in the meantime, I figured I would show you the inside of an interventional radiology suite, because I know you guys have seen pictures of it, but don't really know what the heck all these things do. So I'll go ahead and show you this right now, and at least you guys have an idea of what this stuff looks like. All right, so this is an interventional radiology suite. Super fancy and beautiful. Let me flip this camera around so you guys can see. All right, so first and foremost, we have our big C-arm. So this is actually turned sideways. It's usually centered like this. So that flat plate detector is up top over the patient. This is actually the part where the X-ray comes out of, or the tube. It goes under the patient so that all the scatter goes down to the floor. This thing rotates on a hinge. As you can see right here, it can go pretty much anywhere and has this fancy blue light at the bottom, which adds a nice touch. So this is the main workhorse of the interventional suite right here. Next, we have the anesthesia machine over here in a little Pyxis system where we get all the medications. Well, I don't, but the nurses and the anesthesiologists get it. Then we have our table. Let me go extra wide here. So this is our table. We have a little mushroom tip right here, as I like to call it. It moves the table pretty much everywhere. This brings the C-arm all the way from there to the actual patient. Collimate. Whole bunch of buttons here that change a bajillion different things. This unit actually does a cone beam CT, which is basically a CT, but not as good of quality because it can't do the same thing that a normal CT scanner does. We have a few fancy things here. So the vascular team does a lot of aorta